Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. SeKo Starcraft here, bringing you some ladder games. We've got Barcode versus Kane. Pretty sure he's a fellow Canadian. Did we play on Yangsu earlier? That's the benefit of playing ladder. Sometimes you just have the opportunity of playing multiple times. It's interesting that Kane would know it's a barcode. I don't know how many barcode players are playing it, Master and Grandmaster, but very ambitious. Congratulations. From the sounds of it, Kane probably it says congratulations on last game. Maybe he did lose there. I'm actually really enjoying the Zerg versus Protoss matchup. It used to be my favorite way back in Wings of Liberty when I was playing Zerg. Then it kind of died off a bit in Heart of the Swarm. I started losing a Zerg. And then now, a lot of Swarmos play that people find really annoying and sometimes disappointing. I actually really enjoy. Got a great replay that should be coming up pretty soon, if it hasn't been posted already, of one of my games playing ladder against a Protoss with Swarm hosts. Pretty good. So we'll see what's coming out on this side. Might have a low ground wall off, maybe even a forge expand. I haven't seen one of those in forever. That's really cute. Likely was a Swarm host style play they were playing before, and maybe we'll see it again. Generally, if you see a replay and it's longer than like 12 or 14 minutes and it is ZVP, it's probably Swarm host. We might just be seeing a Nexus first on this side, which wouldn't surprise me too much necessarily, except that he knows that there's a pool first on the other side. So if Kane wanted to make a big pile of Zerglings, he might actually be able to get some damage in. Kane doesn't even have 300 minerals yet, so he's just kind of bouncing around. And he does get it down on this side. Overlord will come in and see if there was a forge going down. Who's the man behind the mask? I like that. The question you want to ask every barcode. Ooh, it is a forge. Probe is sitting here. Are you streaming? Nope. I wonder... I mean, it's really nice for pros to stream. I think it's a great way to make fans. But I think it's also a great way to get cheated. Particularly when you like to use your name like Kane does. I don't know if that means he's Swiss. Or his mom gave him a terrible name. Or who am I to say? Maybe it's some other kind of country where it's just consonants. Couple lings are out now. Looks like they will do a little prowl. And then put down another hatchery here. Which is something I'm finally comfortable with doing as a Zerg player. It's like, okay, he's expanding. Maybe I should just keep expanding. I always had this really big need as a Zerg player to see if I could go do damage if I see somebody expanding. It's like, I've got to go kill them, of course. But it requires so much resources, and a lot of Protoss players are getting a lot better at holding big Zergling all-ins. You know, the only Swarmos player in NA can't beat. On Europe, you probably run into a lot more people that are doing the Swarm host there. If these guys ladder so much, I'm sure they get a little bit more used to each other. It's very rarely. I don't think anyone can. That's hilarious. I've actually noticed there is an art to going Swarm hosts. I was watching some Jaedong games going Swarm hosts, and he's such an amazing player, but he does not play it as good as you see somebody like Stefano does, or some of the European or North American Zerg players. So I think that it's... You do see some Koreans, obviously, that are really great at it. But you see them going for a lot more mobile and aggressive units. Swarm host is one of those things they'll mix in their build styles once in a while. It is exciting when you get to watch somebody like Sulky or Roro go for these Swarm host plays. It makes for like 40-50 minute long games, which I love. Yeah, it will be in the meta for a long time. The funny thing is when he says until they fix it, I don't know if Kane is talking about fixing Swarm host or fixing Protoss. Because fixing, like Swarm host is what a lot of times Zerg has to do to be able to have units that are cost effective enough to deal with the Protoss army a lot of times. It used to be just big Roach Hydra play into like Corruptor was the style. Then we saw these really heavy Stalker styles. And then if you want to go into Broodlords, Tempest, just roll those. Do you think Tempest buff will change anything? I don't really think so, but we'll see. I'm excited to see what kind of comes down the pipe with some of the patches. I don't think the matchup is broken, though. I'm sure a lot of people would like to say that, yeah, Swarm Host against Protoss is way too overpowered. But it's just about changing styles. It's just like how, you know, Blink, 2-base Blink was way too overpowered against Terrans. Speed is just started for a Zerg player here. Second Queen is coming down. I do like this kind of light pressure that you can put on as a Protoss player, but I think he came in with this a little bit too late to really get any damage. Stargate is on the way. It is scouted. Great timing on that Overlord. Both Overlords. You actually should probably run them in different directions. Yeah, there we go. I was about to say otherwise you're just going to give up 2 Overlords. We'll probably see a Phoenix coming out of here, I'm expecting. No, it's an Oracle, actually. Now, the Zerg player should be able to see that it's an Oracle coming out of there. We'll see if any defense goes down. There's a Spore, there's another Spore, and there's another Spore. If it is Oracles, 1 Spore does just fine. Sometimes really heavy Phoenix play, you might want more than 1 just to take care of it. Not a super fast third base, but Protoss players once again are becoming a lot more comfortable. If they feel like their opponent is kind of sitting back and really teching up, they can go and get this third Nexus fairly easily, and generally blocking it with some really good SimCity around some cannons. I actually have the melee upgrade coming out, so I might see a really big Zergling focus here. If he was going to go for some sort of Roach and Swarm Host play, you'd likely be seeing that ranged attack going down. You might even see muta, as he is going up to this 4th base pretty fast. And scouting this Nexus sometimes means you can get out so much economy that you can actually get that 4-base muta going. Lair is pretty early, so we won't see what his next tech is for a little bit here. Let's talk about what the unit count is for the workers. Slight lead for the Zerg player, but once the Protoss player has this 3rd Nexus up, should be making a few more and catch up pretty soon. No, 11 more drones. Never mind. There's a pretty good unit comp out here for the Protoss players. Got a bit of a supply lead. And this is where the Zerg player can be very weak. His tech choice isn't even made yet. He's only got Zerglings to defend. His upgrades are just finishing up. So a push from the Protoss player might be able to get a little bit of damage. That Oracle might actually get a few kills down here. Nothing defending this worker line. That was a pretty great Spore Crawler build. That was tight. Throws down the Envision, and it is Infestation. I'm not too surprised, but I kind of thought he might go for a muta play. But you need to make so many mutas to beat somebody that's already making Stargate units. The Void Waves are started really nice and early, and that's very helpful, obviously, against the Swarm Hosts. More Queens on the way. And we still have the melee attacks happening right now. So maybe it's not Swarm Host. It'll be a Constitution for Roaches. Macro Hatch. No, he's actually getting the Pathogen Glance. That makes a bit more sense. Going for an Infestor Zergling style might be really, really cool. I do like how Kane's got a huge amount of extra Overlords built. He will have to make some more here pretty soon now that he's losing a couple. But it allows him to make sure he's not going to get supplied blocked anytime soon. 4th Nexus going down. Now this is really interesting. Because I don't think that he needed to necessarily go for this 4th Nexus before just teching up to what he wants to. We'll get the cancel on that 1 Nexus at the cost of only a couple Zerglings, so that's pretty nice. This style from Barcode Becky here, this very much expansion based. There we go. There's our. That might just be for Corruptors though. But thought mutas might be a fun little bit. 2-2 is more than halfway done now for these Zerglings. There's just not a lot of DPS here for the Protoss player. Yeah, the Void Waves, I mean, are good DPS, but there's no like splash damage or anything like that. Yeah, I think he got the kill on that Nexus. I don't think it was cancelled. Zerglings are going to get a lot of free sentries. We do see the Robo Bay just finished up for the Protoss player as well. Such a huge lead right now for Kane and supplies. A little surprising to me. Didn't really expect that to be the case. A couple of infestors though. Don't really want to get caught out in the open. An oracle will rip through that and cost you a couple fungals. That could be numbers. Numbers! Grab it. Quickly. There we go. Num num num. Adrenal glands going down. 2-2. Almost finished. And burrow as well. Cool composition. Ultralisk coming down. I mean, he's going to need stuff to deal with this massive amount of void rays. He does have the fungals and the infested terrans to help. Oh snap! You're going ultras. When you see a really huge commitment into Zerglings, and if you check and you see their upgrades are up, it just makes sense to go into ultras. Little hold position down here on the Zergling should get lots of kills. Actually, he's going to get almost all of the kills down here. That's really funny. They didn't see any drones actually get pulled. Now these zealots are +2 attack, so they're at least going to do pretty good against us. 9 ultras. No kidding. I mean, that is a lot of void rays that do really, really good damage against armored. So many void rays. 2 Stargates. I would say he's got to have more than 1 Stargate if he's going to that many void rays. Great creep spread here out of Kane. Really nice to see. Lots of active creep tumors. It should give him vision of anything funky running around the map. His Oracle's still kicking around. He does see it. He could grab it. Nice reveal here on these units. Reveal in vision. Revealed. It is revealed. Kane is essentially maxed out now. He's making the second Spire. I was supposed to say he's going to need to transition into something else after this, because he's going to lose a lot of the army fighting this here. Trying to get into a better position here. Wants a nice big open area. Force fields don't really matter that much against ultras, obviously. Fungals are in play. Should work out very well. Lots of overseers. You want to have those with the army in case he throws in some DTs. Nothing kills a rush faster than, 6 DTs that just can't be killed. Static defense in all the bases. Very important. 5th base finished up, and we'll be going for the gas. And we're starting to see the Zerg player bank now. The difficulty is he doesn't have the composition to completely outright win against the Protoss player. Unless he gets a really bad clump up and dies to fungals, these void rays are going to live. Goes for a full wall off here. I do like that on this map. The extractor does make a wall off with the cliffs. Hey! Kitty cow is trying to get in my bag. I don't know if I got any food in there. So apologies if I was loud there for a second. Yeah, you can only be so cute. Then I beat the crap out of you. Creep still moving along. The Protoss player has not controlled any of that. And I mean, this might be a really great Protoss player, but this is really interesting how he's maxed out and he's still just sitting at home. He's starting to build a bank up as well. But right now we've got the chitinous, we've got the air upgrades happening. Ooh, misses a fungal. He's almost got creep down here to the 5th base. He's gonna split up maybe here. Oh, the Zerglings get in. And then they get away. These Zerglings have just been so good. What are the resources killed here? He's killed 57 workers this game so far, and he will get this Nexus down. I'm sure Kane's alright with trading away some supply here. We'll see. There's the big muta switch. The difficulty with this muta switch is that there are Archons, well upgraded Archons, on the map. So he's really going to have to use his mobility well. Creep is on every angle. Yeah, I was about to say the Protoss should at least move out and start killing creep tumors. At a minimum. Just so that way he's going to slow down the advancements and his movements are going to be a little bit more disguised. Not a great time for the mothership core to turn into a mothership. It's not going to do him a lot of good. Vipers as well. Blinding clouds could be really, really nice. Looks like he's going to go into the base. There's not much to kill in the main base right now. But there's not much to defend it either. Mothership core is being turned into a mothership. Phoenixes are in production, but he might be able to just snipe these Stargates before they can make anything. Yeah, the pylon goes down. We might get a little base tradey here, and I'm sure that the Zerg player is fine with that. As a Zerg player, you have to be ready and willing to base trade when you're up against these kind of armies that are going to be so tough to fight. Army's getting a little bit split up here. Back on this side, how many mutas do we have over here? Almost a full page. Full book of mutas. Now, if we look at the units tab, the Protoss player is down to 10 workers currently. Pretty good Phoenix micro here. That was not as good Phoenix micro. Well, the good thing is that he's got lots of them and they last forever. That's kind of cute. So these Phoenixes are essentially on a limited shelf life here. It would have been nice for him to snipe that one Zealot down so his Lings could get through. There he goes. So the Protoss player did kill off a base, but the rest of his entire existence is in shambles. Lots of Zerglings out. He might just go full on base trade. That's a lot of army. Problem is, the Zerglings are going to get shredded in here. They might as well almost not even participate in this fight. This is a pretty good position for the Zerg to fight in. It's a little bit more out in the open. Ultras are getting right on top of the army here. Immortals are carving through this. And GG, well played. That was a really funky game there out of Kane, and I think he completely fooled Barcode Becky into thinking that it was going to be a swarm host play. Instead, a really good aggressive ling into ultra and then a muta tech switch to just shut down all the economy. At the end of that game, the Protoss player had 3 probes left. Great game. Good play out of Kane there. SeKo Starcraft, thanks everybody, and tune in next time.